It's time to take you through this week in Nicholls Athletics as we bring you the best of Colonel sports from Nicholls State University. This week in Nicholls Athletics is presented by State Farm. Contact your local State Farm agent today and get to a better state. This week in Nicholls Athletics is also sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. Rouse's, either you're local or you're not. Good evening and welcome to the season finale of This Week in Nicholls Athletics, presented by State Farm Insurance. I'm your host, Mike Wagenheim. Coming up in tonight's show, we say goodbye to our graduating class of colonels and speak with Athletic Director Rob Bernardi. That and more on the way. We begin with hoops. The Colonel women's basketball team off to their best start in program history. Even in the midst now of a challenging six-game road trip, the wins keep piling up. Last Thursday, head coach Doobie Plaisance and company headed to Montgomery to take on Alabama State, a club that had defeated the Colonels here in Thibodaux last season. We take you to the Dunn Oliver Acadome. A low-scoring first half, the Lady Hornets work the ball to Quintari Alford down on the block. She misses the bunny but cleans it up. 3 minutes in, the Colonels are down a bucket. A very slow start for the Red and Gray. In transition, ASU's Taylor Arrington pushes ahead to Dariah Shields. A three ball from the corner. Nicholls down 10-2. The Colonels, though, go on a run. KK Babin controlling up top. The drive and the kick here to Amani White. She hits from downtown. It's back to a one-possession game midway through the half. White scored a season-high 13. Under the 3-minute mark, Babin top key, dishing to Hope Pulowski. Over to Alicia Allen, the pretty pump and the drive. Nicholls, though, scored a season-low 20 in the first half. They were down by 3. Early second half, around the perimeter, working it into the hands of Jenny Nash for the 3. And the Colonels take the lead as Nash came alive in the second stanza. Under 15 to go, ASU back on top. Colonels break some light pressure, and then Alabama State leaves Nash alone up top. The game is tied at 30. Less than 9 minutes to go. Nicholls up 3, and again, the Lady Hornets fail to pick up Nash in transition. She scored a team-high 14 points. It's 42-36, biggest lead of the game. ASU hanging around. Jasmine Scott misses in the paint. Alford clears it ahead to Nakia Smith. She drops the runner. Had a game-high 18 points. The lead is down to 3, but Nicholls owned the final 5 minutes. Allen, the crossover, spin, and 14-footer. It's a 14-3 run for Nicholls. They forced 11 turnovers during that time. White handling here, shovels to Babin, the step-back 3. That expanded the advantage to double figures, and the Colonels were a 56-47 winner. Nicholls sits at 7-2 on the year. They are 5 games over 500 for the first time in program history. Next up, a matchup at Arkansas State today. The Nicholls men's basketball team has been reeling from a slew of injuries for the last few weeks that have kept them from operating at full capacity. But they got some bodies back finally for their matchup in New Orleans last Wednesday. Starting forward Lachlan Prest returned, as did guard Fred Hunter, who came back with a vengeance. The Colonels and Privateers, who will become Southland rivals next season, met up just a few weeks ago in Thibodaux as Nicholls put up a season-high 92 points in a 13-point victory. Midway through the second half of that contest, though, Hunter went down with a hamstring strain, and he's been raring to go ever since. While Fred made his mark, UNO was eager to defend their home court and set the stage for a rivalry for years to come. Let's take you to Lakefront Arena in New Orleans. 3+ minutes in, New Orleans native Shane Rillier midcourt over to Sam Macbeth. Up top to TJ Carpenter. The drive and the bounce to Hunter for the lay-in. Fred was just getting started. Nicholls down 5-4. 1 minute later, loose ball here. UNO's Lindsey Nelson comes up with it. Turnovers were the Colonels' undoing in this one. Corey Blake nails a 3. UNO was 5 of 7 beyond the arc in the first half. Nicholls down 4. The deficit begins to build 6 minutes in. Macbeth on the wing tries to feed. It's denied and stolen. Tordarius McPherson finishes 25 Nicholls turnovers in this one. Down by 7. The Colonels come back to tie it at the 12:15 mark. Carpenter with the long distance connection. TJ was 4-4 from downtown. Also had 6 boards. Midway through the half now, Amin Torres with a pretty entry pass to Hunter. A clear path for the lay-in. Colonels down 18-17. Fred scored 16 by halftime. Late first half, UNO was on a 9-2 run. Colonels break the press. Sterling Bailey to Hunter. The nice scoop in traffic at the basket. Nicholls scored 42 in the paint. Still down 4, final seconds. Jeremy Smith whips it down to the cutting Macbeth. That lay-in would close the gap to 2 points, but McPherson would push it up the floor here and leaves it to the trailing Lavelle Cook. UNO gets the open look at the top of the key. Nicholls trails 41-36 at the break. second half of play. McPherson dishing to Corey Dixon. They get the fake here and a little up and under plus the foul. UNO up by 7 with 16 minutes left. Nicholls down 9 now as Smith is doing everything he can to get it to Hunter, but has to skip it to press. Now the feed to Hunter. He scores while getting hacked to pieces after the free throw. It's a 6-point game. Under 9 minutes left, Colonels try to trap Ralenzi Nelson at midcourt. He lobs it to Dixon. The touch pass to McPherson for the open three. That put UNO up 11. But Nicholls rallies. 7-minute mark. Hunter can't finish in transition. Macbeth grabs the board, resets, out to Reilly and over to Carpenter, who hit back-to-back bonus balls. Nicholls within 3 points. Under 6 minutes left, UNO answers. Nelson top key, using the screen, the drive, and the spin, dishing to Isaac Mack. He drains it back to a 2-possession game. Here comes Nicholls again. Macbeth with the Hail Mary inbounds to Smith. He would miss here, but Hunter trails and slams it down. Fred scored 36 points and had 9 rebounds. Final 3 minutes, down 2. Hunter posting up. He's double-teamed. It just doesn't matter. Nicholls comes from 11 down to tie it up. Last minute tie game. This is all Corey Blake here, controlling out top, and then makes his move. Winds up using glass. UNO up 77-75. Nicholls struggled at the line late. So did UNO. 3-point game. Kevin Hill misses a free throw. One last chance here, but Carpenter is stripped at midcourt. UNO wins it 72-76 or 79-76 as a team split the season series right down the middle. 6 privateers scored in double figures, led by Corey Blake with 13. So Nicholls sits at 1-5 heading into this weekend's World Vision Challenge in Logan, Utah. Nicholls will take to the floor tomorrow night, facing Utah State. Then they draw Southern Illinois on Friday and Cal Davis on Saturday. We spoke with head coach J.P. Piper about how his club is preparing.
3 games in 3 days is always tough. We're going to probably back off on the amount of information we give our guys, and we play Utah State first, so we will get to do a little more in-depth scouting report on those guys. We really just got to go play. Not a whole lot different. We probably need to sub a little differently, try to keep guys fresh, because you 3 games in 3 days. But, we're out of school. They're not doing a whole lot other than eating, sleeping, and playing basketball, so they should be ready for this. And it's part of the country we don't normally get to see, so there should be a little excitement and energy, and we should be fine.
Dantrell Thomas, fortunately, going to be back. He's been out the entire season so far due to some issues that were out of his control. It adds a new dynamic. He averaged over 12 points per game last year, almost 4 rebounds. Should provide a spark here.
I would be disappointed if he does anything but provide a little spark for us. We talked after the UNO game about balance. I think DT helps create balance because he's a guy that we're going to encourage to go hunt buckets and look to score the ball. And you put him out there with Fred and Theodore, you got a few weapons. So we're excited to have DT back. He's looked great in practice and can't wait to get him on the floor for a game.
All right, Coach, good luck.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
Head coach of the Colonels, J.P. Piper. We will talk to you tomorrow night from Logan, Utah. The Colonels open up the World Vision Challenge against Utah State. Tip-off at 9:05. You can listen live on the Colonel Sports Radio Network. We'll be back with more of This Week in Nicholls Athletics, presented by State Farm Insurance, right after this.
Does State Farm let me bundle auto, home, and life to save money?
Sure. We practically invented bundling. And it all stays with State Farm.
So my policies don't go to some bundling center. That ships them off to some bundle factory? I'm dealing with you, and not some bungling, bustling bundle builders.
Who have you been working with?
Stay with the company you trust.
Bundle and save with your local State Farm agent.
At Rouse's, we love football. We love the players, we love the fans, and you know we love the food. So whether it's high school, college, or pros, if there's a game, we're tailgating. You can tackle your tailgate too with one stop by Rouse's. Get Rouse's ready to grill meat, chicken, and pork, or pick up Rouse's ready to serve tailgate specials. Everything is made fresh for the game, and you know it's all good. So get the home field advantage every time you shop. Shop local. Shop Rouse's. Now that's tailgating.
Nicholls State University is taking education on the road, the information superhighway. If you are unable to come to campus, we are bringing the campus to you. Study at home and graduate quicker with Nicholls Online. No more going to class around the school's schedule. Go to class online around your schedule. All of your courses are taught by qualified Nicholls State University professors who are experts in their fields. To take that step, go to nichols.edu/nichollsonline or email nicholsonline@nichols.edu.
Back here on This Week in Nicholls Athletics, presented by State Farm Insurance. It's time to announce our Rouse's Student Athlete of the Week, sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. Either you're local or you're not. Rouse's Supermarkets are local, with their roots established in Thibodaux in 1923. Trust Rouse's for great food and great values. Louisiana's best can be found at your local Rouse's or at rouses.com. Our Rouse's Student Athlete of the Week, none other than senior guard Fred Hunter, who put up a career-high 36 points to go along with 9 rebounds against UNO after sitting out the prior 2 games. Fred Hunter, our Rouse's Student Athlete of the Week. Well, while Fred had the biggest day of his career on the floor, several Colonel student athletes had the biggest day of their lives this past Saturday, graduation day, the end of a long road and the beginning of another. Summer Davis has the story.
It's the part of the term student athlete that often gets overlooked, student. But at Nicholls, success isn't measured in wins and losses, and no trophy is held in higher esteem than the ultimate prize, a college degree. A select group of colonels closed a chapter in their lives this weekend in the company of family and friends and now look forward to the promising days ahead. This past Saturday, Nicholls State University held their fall commencement ceremonies. Among the crowd, 11 student athletes walked across the stage to receive their diplomas. Football's Jordan Piper and soccer's Carolyn Noble were among the many hopefuls sitting in those chairs on graduation day. Piper, a New Orleans native and star linebacker, graduated from University College. During his time as a colonel, Piper was twice selected All-Southland Honorable Mention before leading the league in tackles this year and making his way up to the All-Southland second team. Looking back to when he first stepped on campus, many things have changed for Piper. He realized right away that his life was not going to be the same.
You have to grow up. When you're being on your own, you learn to be accountable for everything you do. If you don't do something, it's your fault. If you do something, it's your fault, and it's a big life lesson. And you learn that with football and in the classrooms.
Being a student athlete is a test in time management. Juggling coursework in his sport, struggles would arise, but Piper knew if these hard times would get the best of him, he wouldn't be able to achieve his goals.
I had struggles throughout school, but I mean, those times when I did feel like maybe this might not be for me, football is my passion. I mean, I was never bad in school, but college is a whole nother step from any level of school. Just realizing that without school, I wouldn't be able to do what I love to do out here, and also trying to be an example for my little brother, and just trying to be basically not a statistic, just to go play and not finish school. Like I want to finish school. I'm happy I'm able to do this, and happy that these coaches gave me the opportunity, gave me a scholarship to where I wouldn't have to come out of pocket to pursue an education.
With one eye on the ball and the other on the books, Piper needed the support of his family to stay grounded and focused.
They've helped me realize what I'm here for, and help me keep me stay focused. Every time I would visit my parents or go home, maybe for a day or two, before I said my goodbyes or see you later, my dad would always tell me, remember what you're there for.
Through his tenure as a colonel, Piper learned new things about himself.
I can be very determined and focused when I really put my mind to it. I mean, sometimes I might have slacked off, but if it came down to it, I know my determination I can get what I work for. So you earn what you work for, and at the end of the day, I know I can do what I put my mind to.
While Piper and his family made the short drive home to New Orleans on Saturday, Carolyn Noble will log a few more miles. An Ontario, Canada native, Noble, who tied the Nicholls career assist record, was also involved in a bevy of on-campus activities. While representing Nicholls on last year's Southland Conference Scholar Athlete of the Year list, she worked as a sports writer for the campus newspaper, co-hosted a talk show on the student radio station, and served as president of Nicholls Nation, the student and faculty spirit group. Her engagement in these enterprises helped her accomplish goals she set out for herself.
Well, I did really well in school. That was always a big goal for me. I think I'll finish with like a 3.65 GPA, so that was very special to me. And on the soccer field, I tied the record for most career assists. So that was a huge milestone for me as well. And then I just think I grew up a lot, and I got involved in a lot of different things on campus, and I really accomplished everything that I came here to do.
Headstrong in her task, Noble knew there was nothing that was going to stop her from reaching what she set out to do throughout her time at Nicholls.
I'm not a quitter. I always wanted to, get my bachelor's degree and my master's as well one day. And that's just who I am.
Although her family is hundreds of miles away, they were still a huge support system for Noble.
My family's the best. My mom forces me to do everything at first, and once I do it, I'm happy I did this. But they're very supportive. Talk to my family every day. They come down here, watch games, all that. And I have an American family, and that's really special to me, and that's why maybe it's so hard to leave here.
With its limitless campus opportunities and focus on student-athlete development, Nicholls provided the perfect environment for Noble to achieve all that she strived for.
I had a little Louisiana bucket list, and been crossing those off one by one. Got to ride in a parade, a Christmas parade, and on a float, and that was something that I really wanted to do before I left. So really I've done everything academic-wise, soccer-wise, social life-wise. I really do feel like I've completed my chapter here, sad as that is.
After graduation, she will have a year to legally work in America, but as of right now her plan is going back to Canada for a short while. Even if she returns home on a permanent basis, Noble plans on visiting Nicholls, a place she has proudly called home during this critical period in her life.
I think I'll be back for all those alumni days, senior days for all my younger girls that were on my team, just all that stuff. And I love Cinco de Mayo. That's my favorite holiday, and we don't have it, so I could see myself coming back for that. You have to come back to this is where my heart is.
It was a bittersweet feeling walking across that stage, but what is up next for these two is dabbling a little more in their passions.
My dream is playing in the NFL, so hopefully that's coming true. If not, I want to be happy, living right, and just being successful as a whole.
I just want to be happy with what I'm doing. I graduated in PR, so I'd like to do something along those lines, preferably with the sports team. So, we'll see. We'll go from there.
While Piper and Noble took two distinct paths on the way to graduation, it all started with a decision to choose Nicholls. It's a choice that has served them well so far and will continue to, years into their future. Reporting for This Week in Nicholls Athletics, I'm Summer Davis.
Thank you, Summer. Coming up, we'll sit down with Nicholls Athletic Director Rob Bernardi, and Ashley Bull follows up with Nicholls cross-country runner Ross Mullooly, who fought back against cancer in a very meaningful way this weekend. Stay with us.
Does State Farm let me bundle auto, home, and life to save money?
Sure. We practically invented bundling, and it all stays with State Farm.
So my policies don't go to some bundling center that ships them off to some bundle factory? I'm dealing with you, and not some bungling, bustling bundle builders.
Who have you been working with?
Stay with the company you trust.
Bundle and save with your local State Farm agent.
At Rouse's, we love football. We love the players, we love the fans, and we love the food. So whether it's high school, college, or pros, if there's a game, we're tailgating. You can tackle your tailgate too with one stop by Rouse's. Get Rouse's ready to grill meat, chicken, and pork, or pick up Rouse's ready to serve tailgate specials. Everything is made fresh for the game, and it's all good. So get the home field advantage every time you shop. Shop local. Shop Rouse's. Now that's tailgating.
Nicholls State University is taking education on the road, the information superhighway. If you are unable to come to campus, we are bringing the campus to you. Study at home and graduate quicker with Nicholls Online. No more going to class around the school's schedule. Go to class online around your schedule. All of your courses are taught by qualified Nicholls State University professors who are experts in their fields. To take that step, go to nichols.edu/nicholsonline or email nicholsonline@nichols.edu.
This past weekend, One Colonel's Foundation to Fight a Disease takes its stride while the Nicholls campus hosted some of South Louisiana's best high school football stars. Last week, we brought you the story of Nicholls cross-country runner Ross Mullooly, who is battling cancer for the second time around. He founded the Ross Mullooly Project, Outrunning Cancer, which held its first fundraising event this past Saturday in downtown Houma.
Going into this, I was very nervous about it, getting everything together. but my family's just amazing. They've been with it 100% of the way. I cannot thank them enough for everything that they've done. And since they've been helping me, everything hasn't been so hard. Everybody has stayed calm, everybody's been working together, and it's just turning out to be a great day. Everybody knows that it's going to something that will help the community. It's not going to one specific thing, but it's going to a few things that help. It's not just promised and never going to show up. It's going to help.
The event included a 1 mile and 5K run. Those who participated enjoyed the fun outrunning family and friends. One participant in the run, Adam LeConte, thought it was a great idea to bring awareness to Ross's mission.
Thought it'd be a great idea to get some road time in and also help support this cause. I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great way to raise money to help people in situations such as this.
Afterwards, participants and supporters enjoyed live entertainment, a raffle, and silent auction, with all proceeds benefiting Ross's charity of choice, the Hope Lodge. Nicholls hosted the 13th annual Bayou River Showdown at John L. Guidry Stadium last Friday. While the All-Star Game for area high school seniors focuses on the rivalry between the regions, it brings these two areas together while supporting the Thibodaux Lions Club in its scholarship-giving endeavors. Chairman of the game, Ben Como, has seen the game take on a life of its own.
Well, I think it's really grown since at first it was just within the Bayou region, and when we added the river, it just helped it become more successful. There were fewer players from each school, so you had higher quality players, and that's really made it successful. Benefit is twofold. One is scholarships for the participants in the games to Nicholls State University that we award in the spring. And also we use some of the proceeds for some of our own charitable purposes, which is primarily the Louisiana Crippled Children's Foundation. The next step is just to really kind of keep it like it is. Just keep the involvement. We have to rotate sponsors from time to time, but that's about it. Just continue. We'd like to get more coverage on the river in some kind of way, but it's been pretty good so far.
For This Week in Nicholls Athletics, I'm Ashley Bull.
Thank you very much, Ashley. Back here with you on This Week in Nicholls Athletics, presented by State Farm Insurance. We're joined by the Nicholls Athletics Director, Rob Bernardi. Welcome to the program.
Mike, always good to see you.
Be remiss if we didn't mention the efforts of our interns this semester, Ashley and Summer, doing their final shows with us, and they've been great.
We've been really fortunate, and of course, they're Nicholls students. That's what makes them so special for us.
Got 2 new ones coming in next semester, too. We'll introduce you to them in January. You've been a busy man lately. NCAA Leadership Council, you were selected to, and a very important committee. Tell us exactly what you've been doing.
Well, Mike, during my tenure here at Nicholls, I've been really fortunate to serve in a lot of different committees and different cabinets within the NCAA structure. The current position I have now is, like you said, with the NCAA Leadership Council. The Leadership Council, along with the Legislative Council, really handles a lot of the legislative matters and a lot of the day-to-day operations of the NCAA in terms of rules and formulating and running NCAA championships and things like that. And so I've been really fortunate, and it's time-consuming and sometimes takes away from my time as athletics director, but nonetheless I think we have a good staff and they step up when I'm gone. But it allows me to really get a broad perspective of what's going on within the membership. And I think there's really 3 key things that are going on within the membership that could bring about some significant changes. One of them, of course, is the issue dealing with the incidental expenses, the miscellaneous expenses, which has been a big topic over the last year about whether or not student athletes should get money above their scholarship levels. And that has created a lot of controversy and a lot of division, quite frankly, between the BCS conferences and those schools who can really afford to provide some extra money to their student athletes, and schools like Nicholls and a lot of the non-BCS schools who, $2,000 per student would be a significant financial investment that, while we would like to make it, unfortunately we can't. So that's one issue that's still yet to be resolved, and hopefully it'll get some attention during this summer. The other thing that we're dealing with is a restructuring of the enforcement staff and the way enforcement is handled with the NCAA. In the past, we've had 2 different categories, the major infractions case and a secondary, and now we've made they've come up with a proposal that will include 4 different areas or 4 different types of infractions and a different process to handle those infractions. So that'll be interesting to see. The other thing they've done is they expanded the committee on infractions from 12 members to 24 members to handle more cases. So that'll be interesting to see how that develops. And then lastly, everyone has probably seen how large the NCAA manual is. And probably for the last 20 or so years, they've talked about deregulating and minimizing the size of legislation. And I think we're underway in doing that. We have about 27 different items that we've identified as ways in which we can reduce the amount of legislation and really make it so that it's far easier to understand. And I think that's something that will get taken care of sometime this summer as well. So there is a lot on the plate, a lot of things that really affect all of us at all different levels.
Wow, that's a whole lot on your plate right now. Yeah, we saw earlier in the program Carolyn Noble, Jordan Piper among our 11 student athletes who graduated this December, and of course we'll have a whole lot more coming up at the end of the spring as well. A report came out about a month ago, Nicholls' graduation success rate among the best in the state of Louisiana. Several of our individual sport programs are the best, have the best rate in the state of Louisiana. Something to be very proud of here.
You know, one of the things I've always tell our student athletes is we can't guarantee a lot of things. We can't guarantee that you're going to, be on a winning team, that you'll get individual accolades or anything like that. But one of the things that we do try to guarantee is, number one, that you're going to earn a degree if you put some work into it, and that's important to you. And there we have it. 11 of our student athletes this fall earned their college degrees, and it's especially pleasing to me in that I can remember them coming here as young freshmen, and to see them 4 or 5 years later walk across that stage, I think is especially pleasing.
Well, Rob, we appreciate your time as always.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. We'll talk to you again next semester. That's going to do it for this season of This Week in Nicholls Athletics. We're going to take a couple weeks off here for the holidays. We'll come back with you first week of January for a new program, Colonel Basketball Weekly, featuring the head coaches of the Nicholls men's and women's basketball teams, J.P. Piper and Doobie Plaisance. Again, we thank our Nicholls Mass Communication students here who interned with us, Summer Davis and Ashley Bull, and we'll introduce you to Ashley Dufresne and Pam Johnson coming up in January. Again, thanks so much for joining us, and we will talk to you again in 3 weeks' time. Until then, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and take care. Today's show has been presented by State Farm. Contact your local State Farm agent today and get to a better state. This show has also been sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. Rouse's, either you're local or you're not. This has been a presentation of the Colonel Sports Network.